In the previous video, did you notice that all of the dividing on paper examples we showed you were quite straightforward? They were all integers. So in this video, we're going to discuss what do we do with decimals. So let's just use a pretty easy, straightforward example. Notice the number that is being divided by is n, and the number that is being divided is 35.74 in this example. So take a look at this n value. So rule number one. Whatever you're dividing by, you want it to be an integer. Even if it doesn't start out as an integer, you want to make it into an integer, and we'll talk about that. Rule number two, do you see this decimal point right here? Just put it right on top of the house in the exact same position. Okay, so rule number one, the number that we are dividing by, let's make it into an integer. Rule number two, the decimal point right on top of the house, same position. Let's look at an example here. So we're doing 35.74 divided by 4. My teacher on the right said, show your work here, man, don't be lazy. Okay, it's a little aggressive for a teacher, but I will follow your rules. All right, so we're going to draw our house, and then we're going to put 35.74. And remember, the rule is we want to move the decimal point right on top in the exact same position. 4 is already an integer, so we don't have to worry about that. And then we just do our standard dividing rules. Does 4 go into 3? No, but it does go into 35 8 times. So 8 times 4 is 32. 35 minus 32 is 3. 4 does not go into that, so we got to bring down the 7. 4 goes into 37 9 complete times. 9 times 4 is 36. 37 minus 36 is 1, which obviously 4 doesn't go into. So bring down the 4. That goes in 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. 14 minus 12 is 2. So we have to add a 0 here so we can bring it down. And 4 goes down. 4 goes into 25 times. And we're done. So the correct answer is 8.935. So that's a pretty easy example because the number we're dividing by is already an integer. What about when it's not? So in this case here. So if you take a look, that is not an integer, and that is sad. So what do? Well, we can do something pretty easy. We just take the decimal point that's in the middle of the 4 and 7 and just move it one position to the right. Now, we can't just do that to the number that we're dividing by. We also have to do that to the number that is being divided. Because if you don't do it to both numbers, you're changing the problem. And now we have solved the problem. We have created this, we have turned this into an integer. So 564 divided by 47 is the exact same thing as 56.4 divided by 4.7, but now this problem is actually easier because we can just do it on paper. So here we go. Teacher still says, show your work here, man, don't be lazy. All right, so we're going to draw our house. We're going to attempt to draw the house. I'm not very good. So 5, 6, 4, put the decimal point right there. So bring the decimal point right there. And we're dividing by 47. So here we go. 47 goes into 56 one time. 1 times 47 is 47. 56 minus 47 is 9. Bring down the 4. Ooh, that's nice. 47 goes into 94 twice. And we're done because it's exactly twice. 2 times 47, 94. Yeah, we're done. Okay, that was convenient. So it worked out to 12. All right, let's look at one more example. So in this example, we are doing 55 divided by 0.32. Whenever you divide by a decimal that's less than 1 but is still positive, it's going to cause the number to get bigger. So for example, 4 divided by 0.5 is 8. So we know for a fact that the 55 is going to get bigger, or the answer is going to be bigger than 55. But remember, we don't want the decimal point to be to the left of the 3 and the 2. So first thing we're going to do is put a decimal point on the 55. And then we're going to move the decimal place 1 position and then 2 positions, so twice. And we want to do the same thing to the 55, but first we have to add 2 zeros and then make it look pretty. So we're going to move it once and then move it twice, and then we're going to clean everything up. And whenever both of these are integers, you don't really even need the decimal point anymore, unless in process you realize you have to bring it back in. But in this case, let's just go ahead and do it. So we're doing 5,500 divided by 32. And of course, we're going to show the work again. Ooh, that was the best house yet. Now I'm going to mess up the numbers. All right, 5,500 divided by 32. Here we go. 32 goes into 55 one time. 1 times 32 is 32. 55 minus 32 is 23. 32 does not go into 23. Bring down the 0. How many times does 32 go into 230? So 30 times 8 is 240. So that's too big. So this has to be 7. So 7 times 32 is going to be 210 plus 14, so 224. So that's going to be a 6. Does 32 go into 6? No. So we bring down the 0. How many times does it go into 60? That would be just 1 time. So 1 times 32 is 32, and then we get 28. Does it go in? No, it doesn't. So no, we do have to bring in the decimal because we have to keep going. So this is a 0. So bring down the 0. How many times does it go into 280? I think it's 8 times, because 8 times 32 would be 8 times 30, which is 240, plus 8 times 2, which is 16, so 256. And the difference between those two numbers is 24. Again, we got to bring down another 0 and extend the house. Does it go into 24? No, so bring down the 0. So 32 goes into 240. We already did this once with the 7, right? So 7 times 32 is going to be 224, and that equals 16. And then I think we need one more 0. Bring down the 0. How many times does it go into 160? 5 times, because 5 times 32 is 160 exactly, and we are done. Right there, 171.875. So just to recap, everybody, rule number 1, you want to be dividing by an integer, even if that means you have to make it into an integer. Just remember to adjust the number that's being divided as well. Rule number 2, when you have a decimal point, just move it on top of the house in the exact same position.